Hello, my dear friends. My name is Anna Vladimirovna, and I'm your English teacher for today. Have you ever been the real chemists and visited the real laboratory? Today, I will give you a chance to visit the grammar laboratory. In our grammar lab, we will deal with the past tenses revision. And our main part of the experiments will be connected with three grammar tenses: the past simple tense, the past continuous tense, and the past perfect tense. Let's start our investigations, and the first element that we need is the past simple tense. What is it used for? It is used for the completed actions, events, and situations in the past. So, the completed actions means the finished actions in the past. Let's have a look at our first example. You played chess yesterday. So it is a completed action. So that happened yesterday, right? And we have here a regular verb, played, that was formed by means of the ending ed. You see this, right? But, so that is one of the examples of use of the past simple tense. Also, the past simple tense is used to describe a sequence of past actions. Let's have a look at our next example. I woke up very early. Then I got dressed, had breakfast, and left the house. So the first past action is woke up. The second past action is got dressed. The third past action had breakfast, right? And the fourth past action is left the house, left. So, you see that actions happen one by one, right? That is a sequence of past actions when they happen one by one in the past. Let's have a look at the verbs woke up, got, had, and left. And now I have a question for you. What type of the verb we have in this second example? Let's try to remember some information, and let's have a look at this chart that we have here, this table, yeah? So you see, go, went, buy, bought. So, to remember the name of these verbs, we can tell that these are irregular verbs, right? Where can we find the irregular verbs? In the special table of the irregular verbs, right? But do you remember what is the column for the past simple tense in this table of the irregular verbs? What is its number? I'm sure you know. Yes, you're absolutely right. That is the table number 2 for the past simple tense. Great, my dear listeners. So, all of you had your habits, your likes in the past, right? So, you had your childhood habits. A habit is something that you liked doing in the past. Something, and you did this regularly. So, this is the habit, okay? So, and you like to tell your friends, when I was 5, I couldn't write. Your friend is listening to you and answers and responds. Oh, but when I was 4. I could write and even count till 10. Oh, these are the habits that you had in the past. So when you tell about the regular actions in the past, so we also should use the past simple tense. For example, when we were children, we often went to the theater. So these are our habits that we had in the past. We did this in the past. Okay? So our next step in our investigation is we should classify the verbs into regular or irregular. So, and we have this table. Let's have a look. We should form the past simple tense for these verbs. To complete. What does it mean? So the verb complete means to finish something. Complete the exercise, complete the sentence, so finish something, okay? So the past simple tense for complete is completed. Okay. Travel, help me please with the past simple form. Traveled. Okay, perfect. Visit, visited. Right. Do, did. Okay. Right. Try to remember the regular verb right. So the second form is wrote. Very nice. Share, shared. So share it is when you have something and you want to give a part of it to somebody. That is share. So you have a piece of cake and want to give your friend something of this cake, some piece of this big piece of cake. Okay, you are sharing it with your friend. So share, shared. This is a regular verb. See, saw. Okay, lose, help me, lost. You're right. Be, was, or were. Perfect. Want, wanted. Great. Complain. Think about the past simple for complain. But I would like to explain you the meaning of this verb. So complain means to say that you are not happy about something. That is complain, okay? So complain, complained, okay? This is a regular verb. Buy, bought, perfect. Look, looked. Great. Tell, told. Burn, burnt. Go, went. Speak, spoke. Realize, realized. Study, studied. Arrive, arrived. Very well, my dear students. Let's have a look at our correct answers. But I have some words, some special words for you here. Let's have a look at traveled, studied, was, and or were, okay? So traveled, we have the ending ed, but we have the double L. So in the word travel, you should remember that we have in British variant, we have double L here, okay? So studied, let's find this word here that, where is it? Speak, realize, study. Yes, here it is. So study, we have letter Y and we have the consonant sound D. So when we have the consonant D, B, L, some other consonants, so we should change Y into I plus ed. Studied, I-E-D. Okay? So was, is for he, she, it, I, yes, and were is for we, you, they. Bravo, my dear students. So you were brilliant. You were brilliant. Okay. And here we have some other example like we had for study. Okay. So, to worry, for example, and worried. So, letter Y, and we have the consonant R. So we should change Y into I plus ED. Okay? To worry, worried. That's great. And we are going forward to investigate our next object. Okay? And our next object for the investigation is the past continuous tense. This grammar tense is used to describe a long action in the past that started before a specific time. The long action is continuing after the specific time. So we describe an action that starts before a specific time and continues after it. For example, yesterday at 8 a.m. I was eating breakfast. So the specific time is yesterday at 8 a.m. And we have a long action. So a long action was eating. Okay? So a specific time at 8 a.m. and the long action was eating. Let's have a look at a time chart. So this is now, present, right? Also, we see the future and the past. Okay? 8 a.m. is a specific time, a very short specific time. 8 a.m. yesterday. And here is the long action. You see this red line. This is a long action. I was eating. So I start to eat before 8 o'clock and I finish eating after 8 o'clock. The long action in the past. So, yesterday at 8 a.m. I was eating breakfast. A specific time, the long action. Okay? So, we are defining the action that we are in the middle of at a specific time. So, I think that you remember how to make up the past continuous tense, right? So we need was or were for we, you, they, and ing form for the verb, okay? We also used the past continuous tense to describe a long action in the past that is interrupted by a short action. We use the past simple for the short action that interrupts the long one. Let's have a look at the example. I was walking to the train station when you called me. This is the short action at a specific time. The short action when you called me. A short action at a specific time. And this interrupts the long action. I was walking to the train station. That is a long action that was interrupted by a short action at a specific time. Okay? Let's have a look at our next example, next rule. So, the past continuous tense is used to describe two or more past actions that happened at the same time. So, and these actions have the same length. They are both long actions. For example, he was cooking the dinner while she was talking to him. Let's have a look. We have two long actions. He was cooking, a long action. And was talking is also a long action. So these both actions have the same length. You know, long, it is an adjective, and length, it is a noun. Okay? So, pay attention that both actions are in the past continuous tense, and we join them with the word while. Okay? While. But notice, please, while Mark was washing the car, Kate was reading. So, if we have while at the beginning of the sentence, so we must write a comma. We must write a comma here, and there is a pause. While Mark was washing the car, Kate was reading. So, my dear friends, our next experiments in our grammar laboratory will be connected with the past perfect tense. The past perfect tense is used to describe the action in the past before another action in the past. So, as you see, we have two actions, right? And one action happens before another action in the past. Let's have a look at our example. When I arrived, the train had left. So, the first past action is the train leaves. That is the first action. And the second past action, I arrive. So, in our first past action, we should use the past perfect tense. In our second past action, we should use the past simple tense, okay? So, and the key word is before. In our situation, the train left before I arrived. So I hope that you remember how to make up, how to form the past perfect tense. So the past perfect is built by means of had. We need had, and you see this in our example, right? Had plus past participle. But it might be a strange term for you, the past participle, but please don't be so scared of this word, okay? So, past participle, it is the verb from the third column of the verbs of the from our irregular verbs. The third column of the irregular verbs, okay? So you know them, for example, gone, been, done. You can think about some other words, for example, burnt, slept, yeah? So this is not difficult. Had plus past participle, okay? And now it's your turn to show your brilliant knowledge of the English grammar. Yeah? And our grammar laboratory opens the pages of the practical skills. And we will find out how you understood everything that we talked about. So, in our first exercise, you have to match each tense form with the situations or situation of its use. Let's have a look. We have 3 grammar tenses and 1, 2, 3, 4 situations of the use. Okay? So, the first one, we should match, okay? For a past activity beginning before a past event and continuing until or after it. For the event, we use when plus the past simple. So let's think. What grammar tense is this? Past simple, past continuous, past perfect. 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! That is the past continuous tense. If you thought about this, so that's great. Okay? So the second situation of use. This grammar tense is used for completed actions, events, and situations in the past. The key word is completed. So, 3, 2, 1. This is the past simple tense. So nice. Great. The third situation of the use. This grammar tense is used to talk about something that happened before a past event. In sentences that have when plus past simple, to show that one event happened before the other. So do you remember the key word before? One past action before another past action. So it is past perfect. Great. So we have 3 grammar tenses, 3 situations of use, but the fourth one. This grammar tense is used for an unfinished activity around a time in the past. Oh, let's think about this. What can be an unfinished activity? And this is the past continuous tense. Bravo, my dear students. You were brilliant in doing this task. And on this slide, you should put the verbs in brackets using past simple or past continuous form to complete the sentences. So, the past simple tense or the past continuous. Forget about past perfect, okay? There is no past perfect in this exercise. So, in the first sentence we read, they wait for her when she finally arrived. Let's think. So, in the first sentence we have a long action. They wait for her, right? Long action, long. And this long action was interrupted by the other action in the past, so arrive. Long action and short action. So, what can that be? So, here we have this sentence. They were waiting for her when she finally arrived. That is a long action in the past, and this is a short action in the past. Okay? In our second example we read, I see Carol at the party. She wore a beautiful dress. So, we have a completed action. I see Carol at the party. That is a completed action in the past. But a long action is connected with the word where, a long action. Okay? So, We have I saw Carol at the party, and the long action, she was wearing a beautiful dress. Let's have a look at our third sentence. When she got a steady job, they buy a better house. I already think about about the correct answers. That's why. Maybe I told you the correct answer. I don't know. So, let's think. What can we have here? We have here a sequence of past actions. The first action, this one, and the second action is this one. Yeah? So, you remember we spoke about the sequence of past actions when the actions happen one by one. So, we should use the past simple tense. Let's check. Let's see if we were correct. Yes, we were correct. When she got a steady job, they bought a better house. Two actions that happened one by one, a sequence of actions, one by one, okay? Example number 4, sentence number 4. I read The Economist while my sister watched BBC One. So, in the first sentence, we have two past actions that happen at the same time. The keyword, the same time. So, two actions at the same time. And we should use past continuous in this sentence. Let's have a look at the correct example. I was reading The Economist while my sister was watching BBC One. Okay? So, on this slide, we have the continuation of the previous exercise. The same task. Put the verbs in brackets using past simple, past continuous form to complete the sentences. The sentence number 1. He burned his hand when he cooked dinner. Let's have a look what we have here. So, we have a long action, cook, and this long action was interrupted by a short action in the past, burn. So, the answer is he burned his hand when he was cooking dinner. A long action, past continuous. The short action, past simple. Okay? So, the second sentence, when I arrived, the lecture had already started and the professor wrote on the overhead projector. So, we have a long action here. The professor wrote on the overhead projector. So, it is a long action, okay? And this long action was interrupted by a short action, when I arrived. So, when we speak about a long action in the past, we think about past continuous. You're right. The professor was writing on the overhead projector. In the third sentence, I write a letter when the lights went out. So we have the same situations. We have a long action and a short action, the lights went out. So, I didn't have lights when I, absolutely right, was writing a letter when the lights went out. A long action, the past continuous tense, and it was interrupted by a short action in the past. Went out. Okay? So the sentence number 4. In this sentence we read, I share a flat with him when we were students. He always complained about my untidiness. Well, these are two completed actions in the past. And when we think about the completed actions in the past, we have to use, absolutely right, the past simple tense. And we have, I shared a flat with him when we were students, right? And he always complained about my untidiness, complained. My dear friends, on this slide, we should choose the past simple tense or the past perfect tense, okay? And we should open the brackets. Let's have a look at our first sentence. I too want to see you yesterday. So, the action happened in the past, right? Because you see the word yesterday. Okay. So the word yesterday is used to show the completed actions in the past. And the completed action is for which grammar tense? The completed action is for the past simple tense. And we have, I wanted to see you yesterday. Wanted is a regular verb, okay? The sentence number 2, it is much bigger, right? So, maybe it is a little bit more difficult. He to tell me that he to see me the day before yesterday. In this sentence, we have 2 past actions. Which one is the first? To tell or to see? It is to see. So, the first past action, it is the past perfect tense. The second past action is the past simple tense. Okay? And think about this. Think about the correct answer. I'm waiting. So, the correct answer is, he told me that he had seen me. The first action in the past perfect. The second action in the past simple. The second column of our table of the irregular verbs, okay? The sentence number 3, there to be a strong wind last week. You see last week, right? And it is the completed action in the past. And we speak about wind, okay? So it is, there was a strong wind last week. Very nice. We have sentence number 4. Pete to find the toy which he to lose. We have already done something like this, so let's try to remember sentence number 2, when we had the first action in the past and the second action in the past. So in this sentence, the first past action is to lose, right? And the second action in the past is to find. So, in the first past action we use the past perfect tense, and in the second past action we use, right, the past simple tense. Very nice. And now the correct answer. Pete found the toy which he had lost. And now the sentence number 5. The tourist to speak about places he to visit. So, I am in silence. I don't tell anything. Okay. I'm waiting for your thoughts. The process of thinking. So, the correct answer is the tourist spoke about places he had visited. The first past action is had visited. It is the past perfect tense, had visited. And the second past action is spoke. It is the past simple tense. Okay? My dear students, we have done a lot of work today, but you know that you should do work on your own a little bit, right? And on this slide, I have the homework for you. So please do exercise 3, page 193 in writing. But I would like you to do the sentences from 7 till 15 in writing, okay? Not all of them, because we have already done some sentences from this exercise. So from 7 to 15. Please do these sentences in writing and show this exercise to your English teacher. And my dear friends, if you want to know more about such grammar tenses as the past continuous tense and the past perfect tense, please follow these links and you will know much more, and you will be able to make up many sentences using these grammar tenses. And now, my dear students, the work in our grammar laboratory to an end. Thank you that you were with me and we did all the experiments perfectly. Do you agree with me?